I do understand why people are not excited for Joe Biden. There's certainly plenty of the Democratic base that are. There's certainly a lot of liberals, as we saw in that TikTok, that believe him just like a lot of MAGA treads do, their guy to be a god king, that believe any, criticism at any point in an election cycle, which I think is all the time now in America. We really don't stop our elections. Hurts the party.
Oh, I know.
And
it's a joke
hurts chances to win. And I disagree with that sentiment. I think you should criticize your leaders in power, even the ones that you agree with on some issues or the ones you plan to vote for. I think you should hold them accountable and you should make them actually act on what they promised. And when they don't do that, I'm not saying that you should vote for the fascist as an alternative. I'm just saying that we should put up better candidates who are actually going to fulfill those promises next time we have a chance, right? I'm not saying that's the current state of American politics. We don't have a choice right now. There is no way that anyone who's challenging Joe Biden in the primaries is going to win. This just more so than even people challenging Trump in the primaries, which they're not going to win either. So.
No. And a lot of liberals keep saying like that. I've heard that in other comments too, through, not even just on our pages and other people's, that are like, oh no, you do have a choice. It's just Joe Biden's just the one everybody wants. I'm like, that is categorically false. Like there is a when we mentioned this on an episode, I think it was called Joe Biden's Going to Lose, the last episode of last year, is a poll that came out that said the majority of Democrats, like 70% of Democrats, would have chosen any imaginary Democrat over Joe Biden. Like, and it was just like, yes, and I know that's just one poll, everybody. I know that's one poll, but seriously, ask any person, and if they're a Trump supporter, disregard their opinion in this case. But for this, for any sort of person who leans center
rational
left,
human being,
rational human being, would you prefer Joe Biden or would you prefer something else? I guarantee you 9 chances out of 10, they will say, oh, anybody else. Is Gavin Newsom available? He is. Oh, but he's not going to do it because Joe Biden wants to run because he has to because he's the only one that can stop Trump. Where have I heard that before? Oh, Trump being the one who said, I'm the only one that can fix it. Sounds familiar. That's why people think these people are the same. And they're not. They're not.
Yeah. And we will go over that specifically. I do want to say, there are warning signs and polls that are really bad for Biden right now, which is what scares me. And I think that that's because he hasn't accomplished a lot of what he promised. I think that's because of the Israeli apartheid that he is supporting and funding. I think that's because of a lack of action to the level that he promised, even though he did act on it for student loans. And I think the same could be said about infrastructure as well as marijuana legalization, that these things didn't go far enough, right? And we have to continue that fight. And Joe Biden was a disappointment in a lot of those. But the truth is just like you said, if most people, sane people, were asked, do they want Joe Biden or someone else on the Democratic ticket, they would choose someone else. Most sane people, when asked if they're not partisan, would you like Donald Trump or Joe Biden? Well, I'll take Joe Biden is the answer. And I think that that's totally rational.